Good morning, Dubai. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show, where we go through all the trending stories that everyone in Dubai is talking about. Today, we talk about Algeria fans celebrating the historic FIFA Arab Cup victory on the streets of Dubai. We will also be talking about
a devastating story of a dog and what has happened to it. Very touching, very sensitive, very heartbreaking.
Very true. Do stay tuned for that. And also, Caroline Stanbury is officially hitched. But before we get to it all, as you can see, Shahir is beside us because Simran's not feeling well. We miss you, Simran, but thank you so much for joining in last minute.
No worries. Got ya.
No probs.
Simran, where are you?
By the way. Are you watching?
Good morning to you, Simran.
And good morning to everyone who wants to win a prize.
So, these nifty pair of shades right here could be yours. All you have to do is answer one simple question.
That's right, guys. Tell us, if you had a reindeer, what would you name it?
What would you name it?
I just love the idea of having a reindeer.
Right.
Like the possibilities.
By the way, have you seen how big reindeers are? I saw a video recently and they're massive.
No.
I wish we had I wish I had footage.
We had footage of like I think there's some from like 25th of December last year.
No, like reindeers are a real animal, right?
This is a whole other question.
They are.
I believe.
They are a real animal.
Okay. You are showing me.
They are. Look at the size of them. They're extremely big. I saw this TikTok that's talking about random facts that you don't know about. And they're big.
They're so... I would nearly be like... reindeers in my head look more like actual deers rather than reindeers.
Whatever that is. It's like a cross between a cow and a horse.
So cool though. Can they fly?
I hope so. I think there's wings underneath somewhere. But yeah, these pair of shades, can we take them out?
Yes, we can. So, okay, so if you want to win these shades, just tell us in the comments. We're doing gifts. It's coming up to Christmas. That's why I'm wearing my adorable Christmas jumper. That's why Shahir isn't. And if you want to win, just tell us in the comments on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. And what would you name your reindeer to win these beautiful shades?
They could be yours. Don't know what that was.
Oh, they're cool. They're like that Carrera.
They're so nifty, so chic. You still need shades, although it's winter time. We're in the Middle East.
True.
What more could you ask for? So yeah, just get your comments in, and most creative one wins.
Ali, what would you call your reindeer? Let's kick it off. All we have so far is Rudolph, which I think is a good name, but it's been taken. Santa took that name.
Not original.
You can't use Rudolph.
What would I name my reindeer?
If you had a reindeer, imagine.
Reindeer.
Rainy the reindeer.
Reindeer?
I would name it reindeer.
You're that guy.
0 for creativity.
Nobody's gonna name it reindeer.
Someone's saying English. I'm not sure if you're speaking about you'd rather us if we were speaking better English. Hope, love that. Positive.
Yeah, that's nice.
I have a dog named Goose who is actually quite reindeer-like. You know, she's a bit kind of... She's a desert rescue, and she's a bit of a cross between like a... I think like a kangaroo and Bambi. She's everything. She's a horse. She's a unicorn. So I think I'd like to get her a brother, and I'd call it Monty.
Monty, I like that.
Goose and Monty.
That's so nice. Monty. I'd name it like Snowy.
Snowy.
That's a cute name, right? Like Snowy the reindeer.
I can see you and Snowy having a thing in the UAE. You'd have an Instagram account.
Take it for walks. Don't mind me, just walking good old Snowy.
You know that Dodo, does anyone follow the Dodo, those animal videos? And they create like 3 or 4 minutes about these animals and you just get sucked in. I see that for you and Snowy.
That's actually a good way to rise up the social ladder.
You have to get a cute animal. But let's jump into our top stories. We're talking Algeria fans celebrate FIFA Arab Cup victory on the streets of Dubai. You've probably seen the video so far because they lit up our IG DMs last night. So Algeria are officially the winners of the FIFA Arab Cup after a 2-0 victory over Tunisia in Qatar last night. And UAE leaders are already dishing out the praise. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Vice President and Prime Minister of the UAE and ruler of Dubai, he congratulated the Algerian national team on their incredible victory.
He tweeted, "Congratulations to the Algerian national team for their deserved victory in the Arab Cup in a beautiful and historic match, and congratulations to Tunisia for their heroic performance. Congratulations to our sister Qatar for the outstanding and successful organization of the tournament, which has boosted the world's confidence in their abilities to prepare for the 2020 World Cup. Congrats to to all the Arabs for their meeting at the championship that brought people together and made everyone happy." That's so nice.
It was congratulations all around, and obviously we saw the celebrations in the streets of Dubai. But also, I think the most important thing here is His Highness was recognizing the brilliant job that Qatar did. They're calling it kind of like a practice World Cup. And as Ali gave us the lowdown before the show, this was the first time that FIFA were actually involved, right? So that's why it's particularly historic.
We've had World Cups before, right? I'm pretty sure one was in Oman years ago.
No, so we've had Arab Cups.
Yeah, the Arab Cups. And I've been to one of those before. And the
Really?
I was a kid.
Amazing.
It was such a thing for me. Ali's rolling his eyes. But just to see the...
It's amazing. Great memory.
Support, I know, right? I think I was forced to go. But besides the point, it's nice to see everyone come together, and so much has happened throughout the entire tournament. It's nice to see that everything went by super smoothly. It was all smooth sailing, and now on to the next tournament.
The World Cup. And also, obviously, you know, with kind of tensions in previous years between the UAE and Qatar, I think that message was super important from the ruler of Dubai, kind of just saying congratulations to our Qatari brothers. And also, heroes were made. I think this was like a pretty exciting match. There was a goal in the 99th minute. Or there was a shot saved, sorry, in the 99th minute, and that's going to make a hero of Muaz Hassan. But let's see more as it comes out. I think that's pretty cool for Qatar to just be able to say a successful tournament all around and prepare for the World Cup, which is going to be bigger than we can even imagine. I think it's going to be so big for the region.
100%.
Are we going to be going? Is Bahrain going to be in it?
No.
No, neither is Ireland.
We never got into the World Cup, so I support.
It could be a UAE support. Is it definite? Because I think it's like, are Ireland in? I don't think so.
Is Oman in?
Not yet.
We should know.
Qualifications are still
Yeah,
going
qualifications
on,
are still going on.
So there are very few countries that are that qualified already.
Yeah.
But
We're crossing our fingers for UAE. We really think that Saudi is going to make it. They have an incredible football team, so also Saudi. But it's going to be massive for the region. So exciting times. We love a sporting event.
I'm
Woo!
taking 1 month off.
We're all taking a month off. If you're taking a month off, I'm going to. Not stay here.
I'll do it just for the sake of it. I love football. On to the next story. We do have to warn, the graphics of the story are a bit it hits hard, so please be aware. It's about a severely abused stray dog in Dubai that is fighting for its life. The story is just a reminder of the vicious and heroic treatment that animals can be subjected to. An incident was recently brought to light of a stray dog in Dubai who was beaten up and left for dead. Bubbles Pet Rescue, a group of Emiratis who formed an NGO to help animals in sharing their stories, had this Instagram account and posted in a caption, "Is it not enough that stray animals are already subjected to a hard life on the road? Meet Mercy. He trusted us and our kind betrayed him. Mercy is in critical condition. We are speechless. This is one of the worst cases we have ever seen in a while."
It's literally it's gross and it's devastating. This is an animal subjected to animal abuse, and I know it's kind of difficult to share the story sometimes, and I know we saw the photos and that we were I think upset by them, but the reason they're sharing the story is to shine a light on sometimes that it's happened. So Mercy was left bruised and battered with peeling skin, fleas, ticks and damaged organs. And the group, the Emirati group, they are still rooting for the helpless angel and refuse to euthanize him. They're called Bubbles.Pet Rescue if you'd like to get more information. They referred to the dog as a fighter. They're also sharing updates on Mercy's condition by saying that, you know, today he's a bit brighter. And we are taking baby steps, which is a little bit positive. However, they also shared that the poor dog is traumatized, as you would be, in an incredible amount of pain, but despite that, he wants to live. He's still not able to walk. He's not able to stand. His body is weak. So that's the latest update we have on Mercy. It's also just a reminder of how incredible the pet rescue groups are here. They're not doing it for monetary gain at all. They're doing it for the love of animals and because it's needed, because animals are left as strays here in the UAE. My baby is a rescue dog and she still has anxiety 2 years later from what happened to her before. We don't know. She was left just like beneath something in Ajman. I know, poor Goosey, and like her brothers and sisters, and that is why people, when they adopt here in the UAE, they have behavioural issues with their doggies because they've been left stray. And you know, if I was left, you know,
and it's already hard enough stray dogs having to deal with the heat, trying to figure out their food situation on a daily basis. A lot of them that you see on the street are malnourished, and it's just an overall devastating scenario for them. And to have to go through what Mercy just went through, it's unacceptable. And we should mention that according to UAE law, anyone found guilty of abusing, illegally hurting, buying or selling animals will face 1 year prison and a fine of 200,000 dirhams. And I think that it's amazing that that's put in place, because it's literally not acceptable. It's unfair. There's literally no reason whatsoever to have any form of animal go through any form of torture or torment. It doesn't make sense. Like,
100%.
What's wrong inside you to have to relay that kind of abuse?
This is the thing, and those rules that Shahir mentioned, they've actually been brought in recently, so it's something that they've regulated because it was happening. So like I said, the purpose of sharing the story is just to shine a light on a tiny pocket of behavior that takes place, and that we just need to step it out. But as a reminder, the laws are there, and if they are able to ever find the perpetrators, be sure that they will be taken care of. What is it, up to 200k fines? That should stop you.
That'll get you.
That'll get you. Moving into our next story, Caroline Stanbury is officially hitched.
Woo! Congrats!
I wish we had music. This is the time for music.
I know.
But we are excited. We've seen the dress. We are in love. It's official. Dubai's most glamorous socialite, Caroline Stanbury, is hitched. And E! Entertainment, they have all the deets. And also us, because we have been stalking the IG stories. So the former Ladies of London star and rumoured Real Housewives of Dubai star tied the knot with new hubby Sergio Carrero at Raffles the Palm Dubai yesterday, following an insanely extravagant all-white desert engagement bash the day before. At the nuptials themselves, Caroline looked unbelievable. She wore an all-lace stunning gown, which you can see beside us. If you're watching the Facebook, if you're watching Instagram, get onto Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. She looks stunning. It was a Greek designer, Celia Cariuti, paired with her beautiful collection of black suede Studio X Caroline Stanbury shoes. More photos to come. We only have one photo of the official wedding dress, and we have a lot of kind of Instagram stories from the night before, but we don't have enough pictures of the day.
We will get those pictures, and this one I think is enough for now. She's slowly teasing it, but like she started off with, I think, what could be the best photo. It's just iconic to look at. She looked amazing, and the best part is, finger crossed, if she is in Real Housewives of Dubai, this will play out and we'll see everything leading up to it and the wedding itself. So,
of all the stars, I think Caroline is the one I'm looking forward to most, that I hope she's on it, just because she has like such a fabulous personality. She does her totally. She lives her most positive, best life. And it's very interesting because obviously she's just tied the knot with Sergio, who's a former footballer, and they both live in Dubai, and they're just like great personalities to follow. But basically what we saw was the night before the wedding, a lot of people came into town for it, and they had an engagement party in the desert, all white. She wore this super cool like dress with like cowboy type white boots as well.
So classy, like so chic.
So cool. And we have all the stories from that. My question is, why weren't people sharing stories on the day?
I think she might have said something to them.
Of course.
Yeah, well, you don't want it to play out in front of everyone, you know? Like, some people might spoil it. You're waiting for the perfect time. It might be related to the show. It might not be. But I think she must have said something like, hey, can you please
100%.
hold back from... I wouldn't even ask people to put on close friends because you can't trust those people on close friends.
No, and
So
you
I
have
think it was
like
the
the
right
likes of
move.
us being like, what's going on?
Yeah, literally. Can I screen record this?
So we don't have enough information on that, but it is on E. They have the exclusive, which, as you pointed out, was a little bit surprising because obviously, potentially, she's working with Bravo for The Real Housewives.
And also, most people when they get married or have their first baby always goes out on People magazine. So I'm not sure.
Most people, yeah.
Most
Same.
celebrities. Like I was just shocked. I think People magazine is more of the place that you'd want it to be on.
Oh, I think E is a level up though.
Yeah.
Like People is here. E is the
100%,
big guns.
100%. I've always questioned that anyway. Why would you rather have it go on People? No offense on you, People magazine, but like it makes more sense for it to go on E. So I think she played it right, but also why not Bravo? Question mark.
Question mark. Well, maybe Bravo's there doing the filming. They're doing it's all deals. But more information on that later. Quick reminder before we jump into our interview, we have a prize going on, a competition. It's Christmas. I'm wearing a Christmas pudding jumper, and we are giving away these really cool Carrera glasses. But you have to tell us.
What would you name your reindeer if you ever had one? I'm going for Snowy. You never answered.
I did say, well, I want to change it to Ted.
Okay, Ted.
Kevin.
Okay, Kevin's good, I guess.
Yeah, Kevin.
But
Goose
most creative
Kevin.
answer, you got yourself a new pair of shades.
Someone is saying Mr. Shady, and I'm not sure if that's in reference to you or in reference to the reindeer.
I think it's in reference to the reindeer and its relation.
Who knows? Let us know in your comments. Okay, we're going to jump into our guest today. He's a former professional footballer, an actor, and also the first Emirati yoga instructor. Stay tuned. He's going to be with us in about 30 seconds, and Simran will be back tomorrow. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. Our guest today is a man who's shown us that the sky is the limit. He is a former professional footballer, an actor, the first Emirati yoga instructor and movie director and entrepreneur. Welcome to the show, Mohammed Faisal. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing very well. It's a great morning and thank you. It's a pleasure to meet you guys. Well, basically, quick story. So I'm half Emirati, half English.
Okay.
Born and raised in Dubai. You know, ever since I was very young, I was always into sports, did many different types of sports, so gymnastics, mixed martial arts, but football was the focus. And, you know, growing up, I would go to England and have trials in, you know, many different teams over there as a goalkeeper. But I ended up playing here in the UAE for Al Wasl Club for a while, since from the age of, say, 10 till I was about 20. I decided to focus on business at that point of my life. So I opened up my first business, which was a gym. It was called the Burn Room actually, and it was a pretty cool concept. So we tried to clear vanity from fitness. We had no machines in the gym, number one, and it was functional training. So it was focused on functional type of training, not the bodybuilding type. And we wanted to, you know, so we would say like we have no machines, we build people to become machines. And then in the changing room itself, we had no mirrors anywhere in the gym, and even in the changing room, when you wash your hands, it's a square and you could only see your head. So basically, that's all about the intention to set, you know, before you go to any practice, it's, you know, you need to be fit, strong and healthy, and then the rest, you know, the vanity side of things will come in later on. So
it's so interesting because you obviously went from being a keen athlete for 10 years to still wanting to pursue it, but taking the vanity away. Do you think your time playing football led to that decision?
To be honest with you, because I noticed, I mean, it would even happen, I mean, we all have that in us, you know, so it even happened to myself sometimes if I would go to the gym or train, I'd always have that kind of a focus to say, okay, say for example, you want a six pack, you wanted this, a bigger bicep, but do you realize that's not the right approach, you know, it's all about having basically setting your priorities straight. So then after that, actually growing up, because we go back to the acting as well, so my brother is Ali Mustafa, the movie director over here, and he had a dream to become a film director, so he started off shooting his toys, and then he moved on to his brothers, which was myself and my other brother Amar. So that's how I actually started to learn how to
Your
act.
toys?
His toys.
His
He
toys?
used to make movies with his toys,
Okay.
and then he shifted to, you know, myself and my brother,
Yeah.
and that's how we learned, you know, how to act, and that's how I did my first film actually. So
It's amazing, and we're going to talk about the ambush in a little bit,
Yes.
because obviously that's a true story which has just been filmed here about Emirati soldiers that you played a part in.
Yes.
But there's so much to cover with you because you're a
Yeah.
man of many hats and many talents.
Thank you.
And first, let's go to football first,
Sure.
right? We have some football fans here,
Yeah.
and you have obviously probably lived the kind of dream career that some people would like to start in football. But now you've obviously jumped into business. What was it like, you know, playing professional here in the UAE? What's that football like for a teenager? What's that scene like for a teenager?
I mean, definitely. It's all about, you know, everybody has different types of passions, and at that time of my life, football was definitely it. And I mean, you're living a dream basically, because you know you're doing what you love every single day. And what the beauty about football as well, or any sport in general, it's something good for you, you know. So it was beneficial for myself in all aspects. You know, and I enjoyed the fact that I had that experience to have you know opportunities to train in England as well. I had
Which
trials.
clubs did you train with?
So I had trials with 2 trials with Fulham, Crystal Palace, Wickham, and then Barnet, Brentford, few teams. But in England, they're quite strict with height on goalkeepers, so it was a different story for me. So I'd have the trial and then, you know, come back, just take that experience and use it here in Dubai.
What height do you need to be?
So I'm about 5'9", 9.5, and they would need at least like say 6'3", 6'4".
Still, to this day?
Yeah. They're very strict, especially because I'm a goalkeeper. So,
Uh-huh.
so yeah, that was a football career, and then I actually stopped for a while and focused on business. Moved to London, and also moved to London to finish my university. I also worked in London. I worked for a Scandinavian family office doing like private equity, VC investments in technology businesses, and that's where my current business started, called Versatile Synergy. So we do digital transformation, marketing, and consulting, and that's how that all started. But yeah, when I was in England, I had also another opportunity to shoot another movie. So we have a current film on Netflix.
Oh, cool.
With the same production company called Imagination, the ones that's done El Kamin.
Imagination do amazing work. They're Abu Dhabi based, right?
Yes.
Really, really cool.
So I have one film currently on Netflix. It's called The Worthy, and then this one, of course, was an unbelievable experience shooting it.
Let's tell people a little bit about the ambush. First
Yeah.
of all, the storyline, and tell us how you got involved.
So how I got involved is, again, my brother came to me and he's like, look, there's a big film coming up and you should audition. So I said, why not? I did the audition and thankfully I got the part. And before shooting the film,
Just in terms of auditioning, so when did you jump into acting? Because you know there's football, there's
but that's the thing. It's like
consultancy, private equity, and then there's
it's on and off. So it's like so basically it was football. Then I stopped. I had the gym. Studied in London. While I was in London, I was working in the private equity VC investment family office. Then at the same time, I had an opportunity to shoot another movie. So I had that break in time. So I shot that film. Decided to come back to Dubai from London and set up my own company, which is this investment firm. And then while I was here, the audition came and I said, why not give it a go again? And thankfully, I've actually just signed with an agency in London. So maybe there's going to be more film opportunity coming up as well, which is very exciting. And yeah, the yoga point, I think we'll discuss it in a bit. But so yeah, I had that. I came back, we shot the Worthy, and then for the ambush, I was told, you know, to do an audition. So we did the audition, sent it, got the part, and it honestly, I was actually with the guys yesterday, so we had like a activation from marketing for the business.
It's being released like as we speak across the UAE.
It's in all cinemas in the region.
It's the first kind of movie of this scale that they've done here of a true story of Emirati soldiers.
Yeah, it's based on a true story on the conflict with UAE and Yemen. It's called The Ambush. So you can imagine there's an ambush that happens in the story. But it's based on a true story. And actually, before shooting the movie, the director is actually from Taken, if you know Pierre Morel. And
love the movie.
Yeah, he's actually an amazing guy to work with, and the whole team was an unbelievable experience. But what I really appreciated of Pierre, that he would, before we even shot the film, he got all of us, all the cast, to do military service together, to create that brotherhood, that bond, you know, and actually feel what it feels like to be, you know, in the actual military. And then even a more beautiful experience that I had was when we were in, you know, the military base camp. The actual soldiers in the ambush that actually happened in real life would visit us and tell us the stories of, you know, in, say for example, before we start the next day, they would come and like we'd sit around in a circle on the floor, and then they will come and just explain the stories, and you can really hear the you know, the crack in their voice, you know, I mean, obviously it was a crazy experience for them, and thank God for all of them being safe and healthy, and God rest their souls for all of the martyrs as well. But you know, that really, you know, made us connect with the film much more, to be able to experience really meeting those guys, and they were on set working with us every day, you know, so it was nice to be around them, you know.
Yeah,
very inspiring people.
It is, and it's an amazing story to share, because I think, like we're saying, it's the first kind of movie on this magnitude that they've made. So think of kind of the war epics that have come out of the United States. This is on that scale, but here, and it's an Emirati story, which I think is really, really special. So it's incredible that they've done it.
I highly recommend everyone to watch it, to be honest. It's very, very, especially being a true story as well, and there's a very deeper meaning to it, and it's very well filmed. And I was very proud of all the actors as well. I mean, they're all great friends of mine, but their performances also, for me, I was really inspired, and I was even surprised. I was like, wow, they've really done a great job, you know. And yeah, it's definitely a film to be very proud of.
How long does the whole movie take in terms of, let's say, your role? How long were you on set for, and where was the set?
So I was in, so it took us about, well, for my role, about 3 months. But then we were shooting around COVID time, so you know, there was a bit of a
tricky.
You know, yeah, it was a bit tricky for shooting it. But anyway, long story short, everything went well. We shot it, and it's out in the cinemas now, so you guys should, before it comes off, definitely go check it out.
It's called The Ambush. It's definitely one that we need to be seeing. So we've discussed football.
We've done football.
We've discussed a little bit of private equity and investments and business. But also another thing to note about Mohammed is he is the first ever Emirati yoga instructor.
Actually, there's one of the first male.
Male.
Yeah, currently we're looking around to see if there's another, but for me, it's not really about the first or not first, so long as we're building that community.
And you went
to be honest
to Thailand?
with you, I went to Thailand. I mean, honestly, this was a transformational experience for me, and I highly recommend anyone to do it, whether you want to teach yoga or not. Just having that type of experience really transforms you. And so basically, you know, as life happens to all of us, you know, we go through our ups and downs. And say a year ago, I was going through a down, and you know, mentally, everything in my life. I mean, everything in my life was fine, but mentally I wasn't there. You know, so there was something blocking, you know, my peace basically. And you know, I started yoga, and it really started to help me out. And the more I went, the more, you know, addicting it was. The more I felt the benefits of it, and then it really slowly started to pull me out of that situation. And then I started to think a lot about it, and I was like, you know what, if I can generate the same impact that yoga had given me to others, I'd be truly blessed. So the only solution to that was to go and learn how to teach.
You know, a lot of us struggle with mental health, and it's great that you're sharing this now, but what actually inspired you to do yoga? Like, what was the moment that you were like, maybe this will help me? Was it a person? Or?
To be honest, I saw it was a commercial. I was just on my Instagram, and there was a sponsored ad, and it just said stress relief yoga.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, I'm feeling a bit stressed, so maybe I should check it out. So I did, and it's honestly, it's just by that one. It's crazy what one decision in your life can make. And I mean, now I'm teaching, and it's a beautiful experience. I actually want to touch on one thing. So when I was in Koh Phangan, an island in Thailand. So I was there for 2 months. The first month was the teaching, and then I spent an extra month there just teaching the locals. I had like basically an open villa. People could come in and just whoever, they put their names on the list, and I teach free yoga to the locals.
So cool.
But I do it a little bit differently because number one, I write poetry, and in our culture in the UAE and Middle East, poetry is very important. I write my poetry in English, and in Shavasana, which is the resting pose, is a perfect time to use that. And I always base my classes off a theme, so something important in life, because I love the mental aspect of yoga as well, not just the physical side. So say gratitude, acceptance, patience, intention, whatever it may be, I'll write a poem around the theme. Now, on my exam in Thailand, I had the practicum. So we had a paper exam, we had written one, and then we had the practicum where we had to teach. So I based my theme off tolerance. Obviously, being from the UAE, we had 2018 as the year of tolerance. And yoga, by definition, actually means unity. Mm-hmm. So it really aligned very well. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to use this theme. And when I started the class, I told everyone, I'm like, look, guys, we're going to connect, physically, emotionally, but I want to connect with you guys spiritually. And I said, before we start this class, I'd like you to dedicate a few minutes, whatever your religion is. You believe in a faith, you don't believe in a faith, you're Christian, Jew, Muslim, Hindu, whatever it may be. I want you to dedicate this few minutes to whatever puts your mind at peace. And I said, my name is Muhammad and I'm a Muslim. And then I pointed at my other yoga mat, which was at the corner facing towards Mecca. And I had my, I think they call it like a sarong, basically, because when you pray, I had shorts above my knee and you have to wear something below it. Exactly. So then I walked off, did my prayer, and then and this was one of the most beautiful things, everyone was praying at the same time, but in completely different, in the same room, setting their intention for the practice, but praying all together from different beliefs, different cultures, different. And so when I finished my prayer, I went back to the middle of the mat and I opened my eyes and I just see everyone, at peace in their own way. So I slowly woke them up, and then, we started the practice, and it was you really felt that energy and vibe, and that's what yoga is, it's unity. And that's what we, here advocate. And as humans anyway, oneness of humanity is very important. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of the class, I read a poem on tolerance. So it's also an experience, it's not just like a lot of people think yoga's stretching or a workout session, but
well, it depends on what the instructor provides them, right? So you're obviously providing a greater experience.
Yeah, I think it's very important, the mental aspect, to connect in that way as well.
So this is kind of an incredible part in terms of finding peace yourself and sharing peace with others. You have a very interesting career path, and obviously you've mentioned already, but your digital transformation company Versatile Synergy is there as well. Where is the passion? What actually gets you excited when you wake up in the morning? What gets you out of bed because you're like, that's what I'm looking forward to doing today?
Honestly, it's like just generating positive impact in others, and that automatically follows through to yourself. So whether it be yoga, whether it be being part of a film that, for example, El Camino, when you watch it, you walk out that cinema, you really, it's a very emotional film and you really feel it. Whether it's that or whether it's even in my business, for example, in my business, the reason why it even started was because, I noticed that a lot of companies would just try and capitalize on one opportunity, okay, and not focus on long-term relationships. And for me, I think it's in life, in anything in life, it's all about, building a long-term sustainable relationship. So what we...
So sorry, the Instagram is cut if you just press X. Sorry, Facebook.
So yeah, it's about building long-term relationships. So normally when we would get a quote from, other companies, it's, costs you an arm and a leg. And then, you have this, uncomfortable feeling where you have to make a decision and you don't know if you're going to work again with them long. So what we wanted to do is give fair, affordable rates to our clients, and then over time, because I'm in a good place to be able to leverage my network as well, to be able to assist businesses as well as the services we provide. So there is that opportunity for the long-term benefit for both. So again, so long as you make a win-win situation, and to answer your question, on the business side, generate impact, make people comfortable, give them fair rates, focus on long term. Yoga is also quite similar, but in a completely different, in a different way. So my clients, when we I build really nice relationships with them. We're quite close. Sometimes after the session we have really nice, deep conversations just about life, and It's not a one-way thing. It's a two-way thing. Even in yoga, so if I'm teaching, I'm also learning every time from the people what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. You know, so long as that, to answer your question, so long as there's constant benefit for both,
so it's creating
learning
a positive impact all around.
Definitely, yes.
What's really cool about this show is that we get to speak to people from all across the UAE who have interesting stories that may not be heard. So it's really fun for us to get to know you a little bit better. Thank you for sharing your story this morning.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Not at all. And your tags will be below if anyone wants to get in touch with you.
Sure.
Based on any of the things that we've mentioned today. Guys, that is it for us on the Lovin Dubai show. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
We're back with you every single weekday morning, same time, same place. Stay safe and wash your hands. Bye-bye.